So recently Valve updated their policies to declare gambling a bannable offense. Since then, there's been a number of high-profile bans, and a major site has even had to issue a statement distancing itself from the bans that are happening. Is this a sign Valve is seriously starting to crack down on gambling? Well, let's take a look. So, out of the high-end accounts we know have been banned, at least one of them is confirmed to have sold on CSGO Empire, a notorious site we'll get to in a bit. Not everyone is necessarily sympathetic to the ban guy because of that. What he does is viewed as tainted by a lot of people, but either way, it's led to quite a bit of negative attention being directed towards CSGO Empire itself, which resulted in the site taking a break from accusing its rivals of being dodgy online gambling sites to release a statement where CSGO Empire cleared CSGO Empire of any wrongdoing. Now, I won't actually bother reading it, not because I necessarily think that it's lies, but because a lot of what they say simply can't be verified. They deny that a lot of the people who've been getting these bans have actually been using Empire that much, and we simply don't know whether that's true or not. However, these people are still clearly doing something that's getting them banned, obviously, because they're getting banned. And notably, the people who are getting banned in general do tend to be a bit secretive. There isn't that much transparency in what they're doing, they're not the biggest public figures, and generally speaking, gambling site links do seem to be pretty common. Olivery, for example, used Empire. Another guy called Palmera is alleged to have been using sites which I also think were probably gambling sites. A lot of the bans we've previously seen involve people who use gambling sites too. I don't have a complete list, I don't think anyone does, but in general, it does look like a bit of a pattern. Now, this has naturally led to a lot of people suggesting that Valve is intentionally targeting the users of these sites. These sites are peer-to-peer marketplaces, so it's users sending trades to each other, there's no bots being the middleman, and they generally work through Steam API keys. And the argument generally is that allowing a gambling site access to this API key puts you at risk. Now, there may be an element of truth to this, I'll get onto that in a second, but in general, I don't buy the idea that Valve are trying to broadly crack down on people who use gambling sites. Why? Well, because there are lots and lots of people using these sites. Tons of people telling tons of skins, and I know who quite a few of them are, and the bans are actually relatively few and far between. And a lot of the people who are getting banned seem to either have somewhat murky business models where it's not entirely clear what they're doing on these sites, or there's just clear evidence they interacted with a scammer, even if they didn't intend it and weren't necessarily doing anything unethical. The people who are just normal cash traders who use gambling sites to cash out, who in theory wouldn't be dealing with scammers as much, so far are not getting banned. And until I see evidence of them being targeted, my suspicions remain that a lot of these bans are just due to people buying and selling scam skins. However, there is also an important caveat here. One thing I have noticed is that people buying and selling on Buff163, the largest marketplace in the game, which is also a peer-to-peer site that uses API keys to control trades, so they use the same infrastructure as gambling sites, don't seem to have been hit by any high-profile bans. And there's a lot of big traders using that site. I'm one of them. There's so many big traders selling so many skins on it. And I'm suspicious based on the fact that there just aren't any bans coming in associated with Buff163, that Valve know the distinction between gambling sites and a regulated marketplace like Buff and have a much lower tolerance for people who trade on the gambling sites. Now, I don't think this situation will get resolved anytime soon either. By necessity, Valve probably have to keep their stance on this kind of stuff private, just for legal reasons. They don't ever want to be seen directly endorsing cash trades, even if they need it to happen for their game to exist. So don't expect Valve to clear up anything anytime soon. They're not going to kill trading, just be careful who you trade with. And in the meantime, I will add, you shouldn't assume every high-profile account that gets banned is being banned for using gambling sites. Sometimes, like this guy here, it's just because a comment they made got flagged. It gets fixed up and it goes away quickly. That's something that's muddying the waters a bit right now as well. Some people are just getting banned for this. It's not as serious and it goes away quickly. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment and subscribe. Otherwise, trust the numbers, not your guts. I'm Jesus. Thanks for watching. See ya.